when we were created, when you came up with the idea, computers were banned in Pakistan. And you couldn't import one for packages or any of your other industries. And then you got hold of this computer, an old one from IBM, and you said, let's set up a company to offer this to others.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. I'm Babar Ali. In 1974, Mr. Bhutto's government asked me to join the public sector to set up the National Fertilizer Corporation. After 4 years, when I came back to the private sector, I suggested to Aezaz Hussain that with his IBM background, it would be a good opportunity for us to embark on a new venture in the information technology. And he very kindly agreed to accept my suggestion, and then we decided to set up a company which was named Systems Limited. I was fortunate enough to provide much of the capital and also offered the first customer to Systems Limited, the customer being Packages Limited, which was a company that I have been associated with ever since its inception. So this is how Systems came into being. And we decided, Aezaz Hussain and myself, right at the beginning, that as the main asset of the company would be the people who would be working there, the only way to retain and attract good talent would be that they should own part of the organization of the company. And I'm very happy to say that this program was implemented very diligently, rigorously by Aezaz Hussain, and today my family own less than 5% of Systems Limited, and the rest of the organization is owned by the people who have developed it and progressed it. So that is a great satisfaction to me, and they are today not only in Pakistan but also in the United States and elsewhere in the Middle East and elsewhere in Asia. So it's been a very satisfying journey, and the credit goes to Aezaz Hussain and the people he was able to attract.
Babar Sahib, I think the key moment was when you first called me over. I remember we took a walk outside in your house, in your garden, your lovely garden. And you said, I want you to join this company, but I want you to have skin in the game. How much money can you put in? And you should also be a partner. I think that set the basis of Systems. And then we both agreed that we will do this for everybody. And I think the important aspect of Systems starts from there. And we started off with you and me as being 100% owner, you of course having the majority of it. And today between you and me, we own about 15-16% of the company. So I think that is historically was the key decision. It was unprecedented in Pakistan. It had never happened here before. But it led to the success that you had invested ₹500,000 rupees when we started Systems. It was a lot of money at that time. It was $50,000. But today the company is valued at $550 million, just the Pakistan operation. So it has progressed primarily because of the employee ownership that you inspired from day one.
No, but I think the credit goes to you and to your colleagues, because I think the basic criteria of admitting people into the company was only merit.
Absolutely.
Merit and sincerity and integrity. I mean, these are ingredients which are absolutely necessary for the success of any venture anywhere. And also there was no bias against where he came from, where or gender, or what was his faith, what was his belief. So that was again a very important element in the success of systems, and I hope it will continue forever that way.
I think it's been proven, Babar Sahab. Inspired by you, you always mentored me, and today this second generation of systems, people who were mostly grown within the company, have taken over about 6-7 years ago. And the way they have progressed, the energy they have brought in, the commitment they have brought in, without that systems would never have been the size it is.
I think another factor which was responsible for its success was that you never prevented anybody from leaving systems and branching on his own.
No.
And that again gave them the freedom of learning, developing, and to fly on their own if they could do a better job elsewhere. And I think that again is a strength, because whoever left you is still a friend of yours. You can reach out to them for collaboration, you can reach out to them for new ideas, and they are not your rivals or competitors, they are collaborators.
It is because of this that, as you said, that we created collaborators rather than competitors, that system has had a major impact on the industry in Pakistan. So the growth of the industry, a lot of the companies which were set up by people who left systems and set up their own companies and have flourished and have done very well. And I think that I'm very proud of it, and you, I'm sure, the impact of it, we are all very proud of the fact that we are recognized as an industry leader in this.
No, and a new project that you are working on, and not only develop your business, but to seek out and give opportunity to young men and women to learn the ropes of getting into this industry. And you are investing money and not only money but time and talent, so that in years to come, not only system benefits but hundreds of other organizations that have emulated your example to develop the software industry. You see, the biggest attraction of this particular industry and business is that it requires no foreign exchange to maintain its. There are no spare parts to be imported. There is no raw material. There is no raw material. There is no equipment. And what really is, and there is enough of raw material within the country by the way of talent that needs to be developed, polished, educated, trained, so that they all become a part of this larger community of people who will take Pakistan forward.
When we were created, when you came up with the idea, computers were banned in Pakistan. And you couldn't import one for packages or any of your other industries. And then you got hold of this computer, an old one from IBM, and you said, let's set up a company to offer this to others. But I think a major thing of the government has been to sort of deregulate, and that deregulation has helped us. When they deregulated the communication side, computing really spread out. But Babar Sahab, our major impact is on employment. I mean, this year in 2022, we've added about 1,200 people. But more than 1,200 people have also left us.
Sure.
For greener pastures. That means we've hired 2,400 people in this year alone.
You know, the 1,200 who have left you have gone and hired perhaps another 2,000 people to build up their own organizations. I mean, this is, if you look back 1,000 years, it's the computer today plays the same role as the pen did at that time, the qalam.
Yeah.
If the qalam was banned 1,000 years ago, nobody was able to write. I'm very happy that systems is marching ahead, and the future of system lies in the new people that you recruit.
So today we are truly a global company.
MashaAllah.
We ventured into North America 20 years ago, established a very sound base there. We are now in Europe. We are fairly big in Middle East. We have this year, early this year, we've gone into Africa, 2 offices in Africa, in South Africa and Egypt. So we are, and we have now established our presence in the Asia Pacific region.
Excellent.
Singapore, Malaysia, and Australia. So the energy that the next generation has brought into the leadership of systems has really made us into a true global company, and I see a bright future.
No, I think you should have a study on the amount of economic benefit that has accrued to the people who have interacted and worked for systems and then left systems to do it on their own. It would run into billions of rupees or dollars or whatever you call it. And not only that, it has created opportunity for people to branch out on their own, to make, sort of have another quality of life, not only for themselves, but thousands of other people. Yeah. That is the real contribution towards development.
Babar Sahib, let me ask you, how would you see, what would you like systems to be 10 years from now? Where would you like it to be?
Well, I think
other than continuing in this direction.
Well, I mean, there are new ideas coming up, there are new issues, new challenges, new thoughts coming up, and you should keep your antennas out to see what new developments there is in the world, and try and grasp it and adopt it, because you can't stand still and live on yesterday's glory and your yesterday's knowledge. I mean, every day you're getting out of date. And I also suggest that you keep in touch with the academia of the world.
Very much.
So that where new knowledge is being created, you are aware of new thoughts coming in, because that is how you have to keep on updating yourself and give an opportunity to people to blossom, to grow, to thrive and to develop.
Babar Sahib, I don't know if you're aware that today's system was created 45 years ago.
Achha,
So
mashallah.
it's been 45
Congratulations.
years. So
It seems like yesterday.
Yes, people think that we're a 45-year-old company, but I don't think we've ever been more than 5-year-old company. We've reinvented ourselves every 4 or 5 years. It's the nature of the technology and the work we are at. So I think your guidance on keeping with the new ideas, being very close with academia, we have a natural collaboration with academia because we are dependent on them, on our raw material, our machinery, all our assets. They produce them, and so we have a very close collaboration with them.
No, I'm very happy that you are doing that, and also, the other factor is not only do you give equity in the company, you give them ownership, ownership of new ideas. You encourage them to come up with new suggestions, new developments, and you give them room, an opportunity which I think should continue forever.
My guidance to the new leadership is that systems should grow into a global consulting company on the lines of Deloitte's and McKinsey, but focused on information management. So not just remain a technology provider, but become a solution provider for businesses around the world.
Well, I mean, one area where I think you need to be more proactive, and that is in giving opportunity to make sure that there is a gender balance. You need to bring in women, and not only our women, but women anywhere in the world, and you give them an open-end kind of opportunity that whenever they want to come back, there's a place for them.
Gee, we are very conscious of that. I think the gender ratio, unfortunately, is not the best in Pakistan, but systems is, all the HR department particularly has been asked to improve that.
Yeah. I would like to suggest that you create a foundation so that you then are able to support students who come from disadvantaged background, your foundation should have a part of the equity of the company itself.
Absolutely.
So you don't have to write a check separately. As and when you issue dividends, they automatically are getting their funds, which can be made available for whatever you want to do by way of support of education.
Well, I would like to give a message to the future people who are coming into systems that don't be just technology bound. Consider yourself as a problem solver. Consider yourself as a doctor for your clients, and not just somebody who's purely a technologist. Because people come to you to solve a problem, and you got to do that, and not just offer them a technology service.
No, I think that's very good, and have a positive attitude that you may not be able to solve the problem right away, but don't be scared of putting your hand to a problem which you think is unsolvable.
Babar Sahib, inspired by you are the values of systems which we continuously bring down to everybody is, one, be honest to yourself.
Yeah.
It's the worst thing you can do is to be dishonest to yourself.
Yeah.
Second, to have a big heart, be brave enough to attempt anything. And the third is empathy towards your colleagues, your employees, your people that you lead, and more importantly to your clients.
Absolutely, absolutely. Don't suggest anything to your clients which is not in their interest. That, I think, is the most important thing. They have to, because you live off a successful client.
Absolutely.
And your success is really the success of your client.
90% of our business comes from people's references of our clients. So their success is very important to us.
No, I wish system continued success, and I wish you good health, and so that you are able to guide and mentor and be there for a long time to see the success of your effort and other people's effort.
Thank you, Babar Sahib, and we all would like to thank you for the guidance and inspiration that you've given us.
It's been a very rewarding journey for me, for which I want to thank you and everybody else who has worked for systems. Thank you.
Thank you, Ji.